Hi there, lovely people. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about a story that's incredibly close to my heart, and it's about how I met my amazing husband using the law of attraction. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're looking for love, you're looking for that forever person. And I have been in your place. I know how it feels, not knowing what the future holds, not knowing when this person is gonna come into your life, or even if they're gonna come into your life at all. And now that I'm on the other side, I can clearly see what works and doesn't work, and I'm here to spill the tea. I have divided this video in two different sections. First, I'm gonna talk about what I did to become ready to meet my husband, to become ready for this relationship. And then I'm gonna talk about how I actually met him. So grab your favorite cozy blanket and get ready for a tale of intention, belief, and the awe-inspiring ways the universe conspires to bring us what we want. Okay, so the first thing I did was setting a very clear intention. I remember it was spring of 2019, and that was the first time in my life I felt ready for a relationship, ready for that forever person. Before that, I never really felt ready for it, or I never really craved it. I was the kind of person who did not really crave romantic relationships. All I wanted was all my friends to be single forever so I can hang out with them whenever I wanted. But my friends did not want that, and they used to date. So I think I really just used to date because everybody else was doing it, and maybe it also came from a place of insecurity, but it was never because I truly desired it. And in April of 2019, I remember that was the first time I really felt it. I was like, oh, like it would be really nice to have, you know, that best friend you can travel with whenever you want, your forever person, somebody you can come home to, somebody I can build my life with. It's very important to not be wishy-washy about your desires and let the universe know exactly what you want, because if you are not sure of what you want, then the universe is not going to be able to deliver it. So the first thing I did was getting very clear on my intention. I was ready for my lifelong partner. The next thing I did was getting really clear on what I want in a husband. I think most of us have some kind of an idea of what we want in a person just from our previous experiences. For example, maybe a certain need of yours wasn't met in your last relationship, and now it's very important for you, for the next person, to have that, I guess, quality or meet that need of yours. So subconsciously, we already kind of know what we want, and that was true for me as well. But I really tried to focus on the feelings, how I wanted to feel when I was with this person. I really tried not to focus on physical characteristics, but rather how I wanted to feel with this person. Of course, I wanted the guy to be a little taller than me. I guess I'm a little shallow in that sense. But other than that, I really just wanted for it to be effortless and loving, and I just wanted to enjoy each other's company and feel like coming home, feel like, oh, this is my person, I can share anything with them. Very non-judgmental, really just like very loving and effortless. And of course, there were a few values that were important to me, like somebody who's an independent thinker, who's intellectually stimulating, somebody who has a growth mindset, they're kind and compassionate, does not have an ego. Now that I had set my intention and I knew what I wanted in a guy, the next step was to prove to the universe that I am serious about this intention. And I did that by not entertaining anybody who did not meet my needs. Because I knew if I'm just sticking around when somebody's not meeting my needs or is clearly not somebody who's right for me, then I'm giving the universe mixed signals and giving myself the mixed signals. On one hand, I'm telling myself that, hey, this is what I want in a guy. I want this amazing, long-lasting relationship. But at the same time, I'm giving my time and energy to somebody who is not able to meet those needs. So what am I really saying? Am I really ready for this relationship, or do I just think I want it, but I'm not there yet? It's when the universe does throw this little test at you, and it's not just for the universe, it's for you as well. The universe wants you to be proud of yourself. It wants you to see how far you've come. Maybe in the past, if you were in a similar situation where you met somebody, you were kind of interested in them, but they were not putting in enough effort, maybe they were not treating you right, maybe they were not meeting your needs, even after you communicated your needs to them, and you knew they were not the right person, but you kind of still stuck around. And this time you wouldn't do that because you know exactly what you want. You have clear intentions and desires, and this time you're gonna walk away instead of just sticking around. That's how you prove to the universe that you're really serious about your desires, and you prove to yourself, you get to see how far you've come. During this whole time, I did not come from a place of insecurity or desperation. In fact, I don't even think I went on that many dates because I'm all about quality over quantity. And I really believed in the mantra, if it's meant for me, it will not pass me. I truly, truly, truly believed in it. So I knew if he is meant to come into my life, he will come into my life. There's no way I'm gonna miss it, right? So I really just focused on building myself up, focusing on myself, becoming the best version of myself. Okay, now let's talk about how I actually met my husband. I met him on Hinge, which is a dating app. I know there are a bunch of different ones like Bumble, Tinder, Coffee Meets Bagel, but I did not like any of the other apps. I only liked Hinge, so I decided to only be on Hinge. And again, going back to my mantra, I was like, oh, if it's meant for me, it's not gonna pass me. It means if he's meant to meet me, he's gonna be on Hinge as well because there's no way I'm gonna miss him then, right? And turns out he was on Hinge, and that was the only app he was using as well. For some reason, I always knew I would meet the guy on an app just because I think I'm such a girl's girl that I knew I was never gonna meet a guy organically. Like, I did not have any guy friends, and there were no men really in my vicinity. So I knew there's no way I was just gonna randomly meet a guy. And so I guess I had a gut feeling it had to be on a dating app. And when I did meet my husband, it was at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic, April 2020. So, I mean, there was nothing going on, nobody was going out. So the only way you could meet anybody was through an app. This was like a year after I initially set that intention. And I think this is a very big takeaway. You have to trust the timing of the universe, because you may think you're ready for a manifestation, but you might not be ready to receive it yet. And you may not know that, but the universe does. I kid you not, if I had come across my husband just a few months before I actually came across him, I don't think I would have recognized the beauty in him, or even probably not connected with him on the app. In that 1 year, I had to go through certain experiences, and my values had to be challenged for me to really be ready for him and really appreciate what he had to bring to the table. I'm not gonna go into the details of that now, but if you do want to know more about it, maybe leave me a comment and I'll make a separate video about it. But it's really important to trust the timing of the universe, because the universe can see the bigger picture that you and I can't see. It knows what we need better than we might know for ourselves. I knew pretty early on that he was everything I wanted in a guy. And I think he knew as well that, you know, he had met his person as well. But he was just so kind, so compassionate, so down to earth, and he would go out of his way to meet my needs. I took the whole no BS approach. So anytime he did something that I did not like, I would call him out, I would tell him about it. And not once did he ever make me feel like my needs were unreasonable. Anytime I needed something, he was like, all right, done. Okay, you don't like this, I'm not gonna do it again. He would go above and beyond to make sure all my needs were getting met. And that was something I had never in my life experienced before. To give you an example, I used to live in New York City and he used to live in New Jersey when we first started dating. And I had a roommate who did not like it if anybody ever came over. So the only way for us to hang out was for me to go over to his place in New Jersey, because it was in the middle of the pandemic and there was nowhere else to go. So every weekend he would drive 2 hours from New Jersey to New York to pick me up and then take me back to his place. So 4 hours, one trip. And then once we're done hanging out for the weekend, maybe on like a Monday or Tuesday, he'll like drop me off again to New York City and then come back home. And sometimes when he dropped me off late, he would get back home at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or sometimes he'll get stuck in traffic. But this was every single weekend. So every weekend he spent around 8 hours to just pick me up and drop me off. And not once did he ever say, Shimali, maybe just take the train. Okay, I'll pick you up from the train station because this is a lot of work. Of course, it would have been like completely reasonable for him to ask me to take the train just because I lived so far, but he never did. He wanted to go above and beyond for me. He wanted to prove how much he liked me and that I was his priority. And it was just so sweet. And even every time I went to his place, he would have all my favorite snacks and my favorite foods ready. He would clean his whole apartment every single week. I mean, he was just the sweetest. This is just one example, but besides all the effort that he was putting in, it was just so much fun to hang out with him. It was so exciting, it was so effortless, just like I wanted to be. And I don't say all this to brag about him in any way. It's really to show you that if it is possible for me, if I can manifest the person that I really desired, so can you, so can anyone. If one person can do it, anyone can do it. When we first got into a relationship, it wasn't like, hey, let's see where this goes. It was more like, hey, we know for sure this is it. I don't think we would have entertained the idea of relationship, him or myself, if we did not know we were each other's person, or, you know, eventually this is gonna lead to marriage. If we did not know that, we would not have gotten into a relationship. I wasn't looking for, let's see where this goes. I knew exactly what I wanted and I was not gonna settle for anything less than that. And with him, it was just perfect. Nothing in my life had felt so right before this, and I knew for sure, like in my soul, that he was the one for me. If you take away anything from this video, I want it to be really be clear about your intentions. That clarity is so important, and you cannot be wishy-washy about what you want. Let the universe know exactly what you want, and then prove to the universe that you are serious about your desires and your manifestations. Focus on your feelings and stay true to yourself, and remember that the universe knows you way better than you know yourself. I hope you found some value in this video, and I hope you enjoyed my story. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.